you to in front of the rainforest once a week to get you those leaves.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But there are a lot of differences between just the two-toed and three-toed sloths. The first one being that, you can't really keep a three-toed sloth in captivity. But from looks-wise, the three-toed sloths are a lot smaller than the two-toed. A lot of times they're referred to as pygmy sloths or dwarfs, because they really only get to be about 10 pounds, whereas the two-toed sloths can get to be like 20. And Zoe is a little bit on the chunkier side too. I think she is right at about the point where she's probably going to go to the bathroom tonight, because she is pretty chunky. Like I said, they do expel about 1/3 of their entire body weight when they do go to the bathroom, so they build up a good amount before they go.
How do you know when that's gonna? Do you know when that's gonna happen?
So they go on average about every 7 to 10 days, and they do kind of get on their own, schedules. And so Zoe there for a while, she was right at every 7 days. It was every Friday evening she would go to the bathroom. So Saturday morning we'd come in, she'd be like, way slender down and like ravishly looking for food everywhere and a big pile of, mess to clean up. But she got off of that schedule randomly like 2 weeks ago. So she's a little bit off right now, and she is probably going to go to the bathroom tonight. I know it's Tuesday, but she's looking very plump.
That's funny. I'm and just impressed too when they eat. They're eating upside down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's, we can't.
No, we can't do that because we have two-way valves. So we do have the ability to vomit or regurgitate our food. They cannot because they only have one-way valves. So that's how he's able to extend down by just taking by his two back feet and still eat. Whereas if I were to try to do that, like do a handstand and eat something, it's probably going to come back out because I'm not going to be able to keep that down. Yeah. Everything inside of a sloth is designed to be in this position, upside down. Everything from their digestive system, their circulatory system, the connective tissue that holds all their organs and intestines where they're supposed to be. Even their eyesight, some scientists speculate that when they're upside down like that, that's their way of seeing right side up. And if they were to fall and be on the floor and crawling around on their bellies, that's like everything's upside down for them. So
That's a good point. Wow.
but their circulatory system is also extremely adaptable. So this is his natural position, whereas our natural position is just standing upright, feet left lowest, pointing head to the highest. And if I was to do something as simple as raise my hand up here for 3 or 4 minutes, all the blood's going to slowly rush down and my hand's going to go numb. Whereas for them, or if I were to do a handstand, all the blood's going to rush to my head. But for him, if he was to extend all the way down, he can stay upside down like that for a long time and have no negative benefit or no repercussions from that, because his circulatory system will adapt and change to whatever position that he puts himself into.
Yeah, these animals.
Exactly. And in a minute, we'll get into, once we start to hold Zoe, because this talk is just a little bit longer, but the relationship that they have actually with moths is extraordinary. So they do have a symbiotic relationship with them, and it is so intricate and so complicated and so specific that even if it's thrown off even just a little bit, that could be the end for that sloth. And so we'll get into it once we start to hold Zoe, because it's too much to get into right now. We're just about to switch over for her.
Did you
But
say
even
moths?
Moths, yes. They have moths that live all throughout their fur in the wild, that they do have a symbiotic relationship with, yeah. So I'll actually, it is right at about time to switch over to do Zoe. So what I'll do is, we'll just finish up, we'll do it out here. I'll go in and get Zoe and we'll just leave, we'll have the chair out here where we can hold her. After we get situated with her, then we'll talk about that, because that is such a specific and intricate system, and you were talking about just the design of them is amazing, how God created them. And there are still people that think that evolution is a thing, and that over millions and millions of years, over slow, all of these different processes.
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. Sometimes I always tell people that sometimes just common sense makes more sense. It's
Absolutely.
easier to
Thank
follow
you.
than, yeah.
Thank you. Should I sit down or wait?
You can watch me right here, how I get Zoe out of her and out of her little hand.
Should I keep tabs on this one?
He'll run out. He'll probably just be running around there in the kitchen. Sometimes he likes to explore.
You're a little busybody, aren't you?
Oh my goodness. So this is Zoe. Now you can have a seat there in that blue
Is there
chair.
any jealousy?
Not really jealousy.
doesn't notice-
Sometimes, I don't think that he really pays too much attention to her, or sometimes if he notices that we're sitting in that chair, he'll extend down like right above you and be reaching to see if you have any food for him. And then sometimes she'll reach up and they'll like lock claws for a second before they're both like, well, that's not what I was wanting.
Oops.
Yeah. So I'll twist her around and she's gonna hook onto your torso with her back feet like this.
Okay.
And then you can support her underneath her booty and give her nice slow pets down the middle of her back. Now she is really sensitive about her sides and her belly and her arms being
Okay.
touched. So we really just try to stay down the middle of her back.
What is the little thing that's green on her? Or is that you?
This is my little mic thing that Kevin makes me wear. But I'll twist her around and she will
I
hook
thought
around
she
your
had it
torso
on.
first.
Oh,
Yeah.
should I stand up or?
No, you'll stay right there. Yeah. So it's you're in a weird position. Begin.
Oh, hello, sweet girl. Hello, sweet girl. Hello.
These treats on standby just in case she
Are
gets
you
hungry.
watching her? Oh, I love how you're cuddling. Oh, that's so precious. Are you curious about what she's doing? Huh? Oh. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He likes to dig around at people's. He is an insectivore, and so they like to find bugs and stuff.
That's my arm there you're nibbling on.
They do, since their eyesight is so poor, they do explore a lot with their mouths.
Aw.
They don't have any teeth there in the very front, so sometimes she'll kind of gum on people and just try to figure out what they
Oh,
are
it's
and if
okay.
they've got food.
It's all right. That was pretty good stuff, huh? And how old is she?
She's 17 months old.
Oh, goodness. Such a baby. Such a sweet baby. Yes. I know. Is that pretty good stuff?
So she came down here once she turned a year old, but before that she was up at the main house for the most part.
Is it? Oh, crazy. I don't have anything on my hand. She says, so where is it?
She already had her breakfast this morning, so she doesn't really need a whole lot, especially with her very plump belly that she's got going on right now.
As long as it's not on me, I'm good. Yes. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You cover your eyes.
Hiding your face from me, huh? Yes.
And so that their bathroom habits actually has a really important role in that relationship that they have with those moths. Here, I can take some pictures of you guys too.
I was hoping to get her face right here. There we go. Here we go. Sweet baby.
Now just be careful with your hand there on her side.
I see that.
She does get sensitive about it. The only time that anything ever really touches a sloth's side or their belly is if they have a baby on them or if something is attacking them. So since they stay on the underside of the branches, it's kind of instilled into them that if things start touching their arms or their legs or their belly, that's danger and that can kind of startle them.
What are you sniffing? What are you looking at?
She
Okay.
gets very exploratory sometimes.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I feel like you're gonna fall off.
As long as you just keep one hand back behind her back there, then she'll stay up there. She just kind of
Come
has
up
to explore
here.
around.
I'd welcome a cuddle. I'd welcome a cuddle.
If you
Yeah.
actually can put both hands scoop underneath her booty and scooch her up a little bit higher, sometimes that's what signals into her that she can cuddle up around your neck like that. So if you scoop down real low up underneath her booty and scooch her up high, then she sometimes will snuggle in up closer to your neck.
Oh, you're just checking. You're just checking.
Good girl.
I love this. I love this. Oh, this is so cool. Do you know how much you make my day? If she comes up missing, don't check my car.
A lot of people say that with the kangaroos too.
Oh, I did. I did.
So, now just do keep in mind that she can't tell the difference between a finger and a sweet potato.
Good point.
So if you get a finger close there and she all of a sudden, just don't let her get hold of a finger or anything.
She says, you keep your hand away while she's feeding me. That's all you're gonna get, I guess. She says, no, she's still over there. Oh, put it down. More?
Zoe, you're cut off.
I'm sorry. She's so mean to you. Is she so mean to you? I know. She's such a good girl.
I know it's hard to resist, especially when she's turned like that, but the underside, like her neck and the belly and everything is really sensitive, so try to just.
You don't want me over there? What is it? What are you doing? What are you telling me? That's my finger. Okay, this is.
She says, I'll hold.
You wanna just keep holding on to me? You are a pretty good girl. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Sometimes she puts a lot of trust in the people that she's literally just met and will lean all the way back and be reaching back behind her for something. But she hears me and she knows that I'm usually the one that feeds her, so that's why she keeps looking at me, because she's wondering if I'm gonna have anything for her.
Can you tell Tom? You need to know if it's time to go eat again. This doesn't smell like food, does it? No. Doesn't smell like it. It's okay.
But so like I said about that relationship that they have with moths, it is a symbiotic relationship, so not only the sloths benefit, but the moths do as well. And the only place that those moths can live in the entire world is on the back of a sloth. They have a long scientific name, but for our purposes, they're just called the sloth moth, because that is the only place they can live. They can't even fly around their environment like other moths can to find that sloth to live on. They require direct contact to be able to get up onto that sloth. And so that's why the sloth, every week, once a week, when they come down to use the bathroom, they come down the base of the tree and they go to the bathroom on the rainforest floor in the same spot every time. Because when they come down there, those moths will come down and lay their eggs in the waste product of the sloth before climbing back up to catch their ride back to the canopy of the rainforest. And then a week later, those eggs have turned into larvae, and last week's larvae have now turned into moths. And those moths will crawl back up onto the sloth through that direct contact and go back up to the rainforest. So obviously it benefits the moths because they get a transportation.
So interesting.
Yeah, they get transportation to and from their breeding ground, but they're also living in their food source. They eat the moss and algae that grows on the back of the sloth. But it's also really important for the sloth that they have those moths on their backs, because they'll eat a portion of those moths, and that's their protein source. So they will eat a small variety of bugs and insects that are on the leaves that they're eating, but they get most of their protein from the bugs that are on themselves, aka those moths. Occasionally, if they were to come across a small bird's nest with some really small baby birds in them, they might eat a few of those, but for the most part, they get all that from the moths. But the most important part of the entire relationship between the sloths and the moths is that the moths produce a very specific type of bacteria in their waste, and when the sloth licks up that bacteria that's on their fur,
from our pet play picnic.
That's where they get the bacteria in order to digest their food. So they would not, if they did not have that moth population on their back in the wild, they would not be able to digest their food, because the bacteria that they use to digest their food is really sensitive to temperature changes. And in the rainforest, while for the most part it's hot and humid, it can drop below 75 degrees, and it occasionally does depending on what season it is, or if there's rainstorms or through the night or what have you. And if it does, if it drops below 75 degrees, all of the bacteria that's in that sloth's gut will drop, it will deteriorate and be deplenished, because the sloth cannot maintain their own body temperature. So when the outside temperature does, their body temperature does as well. So that bacteria will be wiped out. It's not an issue for a wild sloth though, because all they have to do is groom themselves a little bit more. They'll lick up some more of that bacteria, and then it will be, reestablished. Now try to just pet her with an open hand. I know sometimes it's tempting to go like that because dogs enjoy that, but a lot of the scritches, the sensation of that can be kind of startling to them after a while too, because that's, they are a prey animal. And so, yeah, no, it's okay. She's doing good right now, but I know if people continue to do that, sometimes she gets fussy. But, so for a captive sloth, then a lot of people wonder, obviously you don't see any moths or anything like that on her fur, so how does she digest her food? And that's actually they get the bacteria the same way as the wild sloths do, and that's around day 3 of the sloth's life. The baby will start to lick the mother in the corners of her mouth while she's eating. Her saliva will kind of bubble up with the food that she's eating, and once the baby starts to be interested in that, they'll lick up some of her saliva, as well as the food. And when the baby gets that, then they will lick up just a little bit of mom's bacteria that she has in her gut to then be able to start to establish its own bacterial colony. So bacteria will do what bacteria does and start to slowly, develop more and more in the gut of the sloth. And for a captive sloth, they will keep that bacteria colony that they get from their mom the rest of their lives as long as temperature requirements are stable. So we do keep them in a controlled environment where it's constantly 78 degrees in here, and that's for that bacteria. So that bacteria will thrive in that condition, and the sloths as well. But if we were to do something stupid like in the winter, leave a door cracked to their outdoor enclosure and the temperature dropped in their enclosure, that bacteria could be completely wiped out, and there's nothing we can do about it because they don't have those moths that live on their backs. And so to own a sloth, you have to be on top of your game all the time to make sure that nothing ever like that ever happens, because if it does, it's really detrimental for them. You are literally the cutest thing ever right now, Zoe. Oh my heavens. No, nipples. Don't let her start to nibble on your hand just because we don't want to teach her that she can do that.
I'm not a vegetable.
Yes.
Are you blocking out the light?
No, nipples, girl.
I know you're not being mean, you're just checking me out. He says, what do you think? Look at this.
Girl.
What is it? What are you thinking? Food.